हाँ जी एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। तो आज बात करते हैं हाउ टू डिडक्ट योर होम ऑफिस एक्सपेंसेस। तो मैंने जो पिछली वीडियो डाली थी अबाउट हाउ टू फाइल योर टैक्सेस इन कनाडा, व्हाट डिडक्शंस टू क्लेम, व्हाट क्रेडिट्स टू क्लेम, तो उसमें एक डिडक्शन था विच वाज योर होम ऑफिस एक्सपेंसेस। सो एज वी नो 2020 में जब कोविड आया, सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल वर फोर्स टू वर्क फ्रॉम होम। सो उस समय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कनाडा ने काफ़ी प्रोग्राम्स निकाले लाइक सर्व एंड अदर फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट टू हेल्प पीपल ड्यूरिंग दिस टफ टाइम। सो उसमें से एक जो सपोर्ट था वो था टू क्लेम योर वर्क फ्रॉम होम ऑफिस एक्सपेंसेस। सो उस समय बिकॉज it was a very fast moving scenario, so to make it easy, CRA said, listen, all taxpayers, so you can deduct up to $2 per day that you work from home, up to a maximum of $400 for a year without any proof. So basically they told the companies that you don't have to submit the T2200 form, which is a declaration of condition of employment for each employee. So taxpayer can just deduct maximum of up to $400 from their tax returns flat rate. In 2021 and 2022, they increased that maximum level up to $500. So in last 3 years, we were able to claim these home office expenses without showing any proof. So the Canadian government has taken that privilege away from us. So इस साल से क्या होगा कि you have to show a detailed declaration of all the employment expenses that you have made to earn an income from your home. So उसका first step है you have to get a T2200 form filled up from your employer. It tells it explains what your condition of employment is. If your employer actually checks yes to this first question, then only you are eligible to claim work from home office expenses. आपको ये फॉर्म CRA को सबमिट नहीं करना है, but you have to keep this form for any audit purpose that can happen with after 7 years of filing a taxes. So within 7 years, CRA can audit any tax return from the date it was filed. So as a proof, we have to keep the T2200 forms filled and signed by our employer. The most important section is section 6. Section 6 actually states that if there's a verbal agreement between you or your employer about you working from home, if it's not given that every employer wants you to work from home, it's a privilege given to you. The next part is, if yes, what percentage of employees' duty of employment were performed at their home office. So say if you work 5 days a week, and out of those 5 days you go to office 2 days a week, and the next rest of the 3 days you work from home. So that will be 60% of your duties will be performed at the home office. So your employer will enter 60% there. So after getting that T2200 form filled up by your employer, now what are the actual conditions that you have to meet in order to claim these home office expenses? So the first one is you must be required to use part of your home for your work by your employer. Verbal agreement is acceptable. So the question 6 in the T2200 form, if it is checked yes, then that condition is satisfied. So as I said, if you are working 2 days a week in office and 3 days a week from home, that is acceptable as a hybrid condition, and CRA accepts that. The last one is you can deduct home office expenses if you work from home more than 50% of the time for 4 consecutive weeks during 2023. As T2200 form, question 6 will state how much percentage of the time you work from your home office. If it's more than 50%, you're eligible to deduct work home office expenses. So now let's talk about what kind of expenses you can deduct. So this has been divided into two categories. One is for salaried employee with no commission, and the other deduction is for commission-based employees only. So for salaried employee with no commission, you can actually deduct your utilities, your rent, maintenance and minor repairs to your computer or to your laptop, home internet expenses, so whatever you pay for your home internet bill, office supplies like pen, paper, ink, notebook, etc. You cannot deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, home insurances, capital expenses like upgrading a furnace in your home, or buying of monitor, chairs, new desk. These are all considered capital expenses. So those deductions cannot be taken into account. I know mortgage interest is one of the biggest payment that we do in Canada, but that deduction is not included in your work from home office expenses. So now we know what expenses we can deduct. Now, how to deduct these expenses in your tax return? So if you're filing an online tax return, you can actually find a form which is called T777. Its form name is called Statement of Employment Expenses for Working from Home. So this form is attached to your T1, which is a journal income form, and you have to complete this form to claim any deductions. So for that purpose, basically you have to actually first calculate how much area you of your work of your home are you using for your workspace. So this is a assumption that your total area of a home is 1000 square feet, and of that you're using a room, so it's 100 square feet is your total workspace. So it's basically 10% of your home you're using as your workspace. So then say your electricity charge is $4,000 for a year, and then any maintenance like cleaning supplies, light bulbs that you use to enhance your workspace, say $500. uh, you can't deduct home insurance or property taxes, those are for commission employees only. And then say if your other expenses like home internet was $2,400 for the whole year, so the total comes out to be $6,900 for a whole year. 10% of that, because you're only using 10% of your whole home for workspace, will be $690. So the $690 will be actually used to reduce your taxable income. So you will get some tax refund as a result of this work from home office expense deduction. Now, if you are a commission-based employee, or so if you work in a field where you're not getting a salary but your income is dependent on the commission, now in that case you can obviously claim everything that a salaried employee claims as a deduction. But on top of that, you can actually also claim property taxes and home insurance. And in addition to that, if you have to lease a cell phone or a computer to earn your income, you can also claim those. But again, mortgage interest, capital expenses, and then the like buying chairs, new desk, monitors, those are all also capital expenses. They're not considered a deduction for your work from home expense. So you still have to fill out the same T777 form, which is a statement of employment expenses from working from home, even for a commission-based employee. But you will also include in this form now home insurance and property taxes, as you can see from here. So considering the same scenario, you have 1000 square feet of house and you're using 100 square feet for your workspace, and then you are adding these two new expenses, which is the home insurance for the whole year and a property taxes for the whole year, 2000 and 4500 respectively. Now your total comes out to be 13,400 of the deduction amount. Of that, 10% is $1,340. Because of their nature of the job, so they are able to claim little bit more expenses than a salaried employee. So what documentation you need to support these deductions? So you don't have to send any documentation to CRA, but you have to keep this documentation handy in case of an audit if it happens on your tax return for this year. So the first one is a floor plan of your house. So it will be beneficial if you have the floor plan that actually states the whole area of the house and particular room that you're using as a home office and what square footage it is. Apart from the floor plan, it is advisable to keep some receipts for any utilities that you're claiming as a deduction, or any maintenance, or any internet bills, property taxes and house insurance bill for commission employees only, if applicable, and any other receipt that you think will be helpful to support these deductions. Now, another question that normally arises is, say if I don't have a dedicated workspace in my house, I use my kitchen table as my home office. In that case, it's the calculation is a little bit more involved. So you have to get a square footage of the kitchen area to get a percentage of the home used for your home office, and then on top of that, you actually have to also calculate how many hours that place is used for your home office and how many hours is used for other purposes, so like supper or entertaining your friends or any other activities apart from your work. So say you use it for 8 hours a day for your home office, the kitchen table. Now in your calculation you have to divide the deductions that you're claiming by 3 to get a exact calculation for say 8 hours of the dedicated space used for your home office. If you have any doubt, I advise please consult a certified chartered accountant or certified tax filer. Those people will be able to assist you more in claiming these home for office expenses. So in now my case, I have a dedicated room for my home office. So calculation for me is a little bit easier. So I'm going to do the tax filing myself this year and see how it goes. So I hope you like this informative video about how to claim your home office expenses for tax season of 2023-2024. So be smart and be money savvy this tax season. So I'll see you in the next video. तब तक के लिए thank you very much. Keep supporting and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Bye from now.